So could you start just by stating your name, date of birth, and where you're from?
All right. First of all, I'm Rodrick, but the whole world knows me by Scubble.
Rodrick, and last name?
Davis. My name is Rodrick Davis, but second line world, I'm known as Scubble. Footwork king and all that stuff there. But I'm actually from this area here, which is the Tremere area here, and I was born March 14th, 1991. Just made 26 about a week ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, so I'm blessed to still be here.
Cool. And so you grew up in this area. Tell me about your family growing up.
I mean, well, growing up, I'm not the type to complain, but growing up it was kind of rough losing my father at a young age, like 3 years old, losing him to the violence and stuff like that. But it happens when you live in an environment like this. But I wouldn't change where I come from for nothing. But yeah, so my mom, she had to carry a lot of the load through us growing up and stuff like that. But you know, she passed when I was still in high school also, which was I was 17 at the time, so I had to look after for my little sister who was 15 at the time and stuff like that. I mean, I couldn't complain. I just had to grow up. I had to become a man early. So that kind of pushed me away from basketball and everything that I wanted to do. Then I had a son at an early age, so I had to focus on that. But yeah, man.
And through all that, even when you were in high school, you were dancing.
Yeah, through all that, I still was. You know, that's why I show like. That's why I release anger. That's why I relieve stress. That's whatever's going on. It can be all over during dance. Like when we have a funeral. Like when we have a funeral, like when we laid my dad to rest, we had the second line afterwards. When we laid my mom to rest, we had the second line after. Like it's really not, you know, we don't look at it as like a sad thing. We look at it like a homegoing celebration. So we don't want to remember them being in no casket. So you know, we know this the last time we gonna have with their body. So we gonna make sure we enjoy it and they be right there with us through the whole time. I mean, they say to be absent from the body is present for the Lord, but you know by still having that body, we feel like we still got some part of somewhat of you here. So we just roll with the casket. That's why you see sometimes you see people dancing on top of caskets. Sometimes you see us just, you know, walking with it during the second line and stuff like that. But yeah, we like to make it more of a homegoing celebration. But yeah, through all that stuff, I still was second line. I mean, I've been second line since I was like 4 years old. Like I said, I'm 26 now. That's like 22 years. Most of the people that say they've been doing this for like 20-something years, all of them are over 40 and 50 years old. But yeah, I kind of got an early start. Like I wasn't trying to wait that long.
And how did you get into it so early?
I mean, like my generation, like my grandmother was into it, like my great grandmother was into it. Like, you know, my grandma Sharper was she never missed a second line. Like how I am today, that's how she was when she was my age. Like everybody knew who Rachel Carrico was. She was the brightest lady and she had the redest hair. She was out there. It was back when the Dirty Dozens was still rolling. Like she was out there. She was out there. She wasn't missing a beat.
Is your grandmother still alive?
Nah, she's also deceased. Also, I actually have her right here on my own.
And was she a member of a social and pleasure club, or was she just a serial second liner?
Yeah, she was a member of a few. I can't think of it. It's a few of them. I can't think of the names though, because it was a minute ago. But yeah, she was a few of them. But it was all in the Tremere and the 6th Ward area. Like she was.
It must have been like in the late 70s, early 80s.
Late 70s, stuff like that. Like all during that time. Like yeah, she was.
And some of the clubs around them, what were like the Jolly Bunch, the Scene Boosters. Prince of Wales was around, but they were.
Yeah, she wasn't with that. She wasn't with them. Jolly Bunch sound familiar. That could be one of them.
Yeah, cool. And then you were with both of your parents. You said there was a second line for their funerals.
Yeah,
were they in clubs too?
Yeah, my father he was into the second line. He didn't do no second line parade, and he actually played the bass drum.
Okay.
I can't play an instrument. I'm not a second line. My mother, she was actually in a few social pleasure clubs. She was like the Dumaine Street Gang. Like she was the only lady parading with the men. Like, cause they got the ladies and the men, but like the men wanted her to parade with them, stuff like that. Like she paraded with the men. Then she had she paraded with the Dumaine Gang ladies also. Then she paraded with me when I was with the Money Oasis and stuff like that. But then she kind of like She fell back off as I got older. When she saw me putting so much into it, so she was like, you know, I'm not worrying about me no more. I'm just let him do his thing. Like she loved watching me second line and stuff like that. So when she passed, like right before she passed, we had this little talk. She was telling me, when I go, don't do all that crying for me and stuff like that. And I'm like, any other guy was like, man, don't nobody want to hear all that stuff right now. I don't want to hear all that shit. And I'm just letting you know, when I go with, I don't want you to be doing all that crying. Just roll for me. So when it happened, like, that's the only thing that was in my mind. Like, during the funeral, I was down, so I was emotional. So yes, I was crying and stuff like that. But as the funeral go on, and like the band go to come in the funeral home, cause like we don't wait. That's how we share to everybody tears. Like, we know these tears. We when that band come, everybody wiping their face and they know what time of day it is. So I was sitting there just staring, like wondering, like, man, like, my mama really gone. Then it hit me when the band come. Oh, I was like, man, she ain't gonna know. She ain't gone. She ain't know it. This ain't nobody with her. As soon as I thought of that, the band came. When the band came, I thought of her telling me, when I go, don't be with all that, just around. So immediately I just jumped out the chair, just started dancing at the funeral home. The whole funeral home just jumped up and started joining me. Everybody gave her another kiss before we went outside. We rode on outside, and we just paraded around the whole neighborhood. Like, it was really big. Like, I ain't lying. When my mama passed, it was more of a concert than a funeral.
Did they play any dirges, or did they just go straight to like the up-tempo stuff?
Yeah, they play a mixture of everything. You remember Fly Away, they played a little Rambo, then they played a little slow tempo, like the Dead Man Walk and stuff like that. We always got to do the Dead Man Walk. That's just to send them home, and then we crank it up. Mm-hmm. Like, we gonna slow it down, bring them on out, let everybody throw their flowers and stuff like that, get their last little tears off. But after that, it's all straight to business. It's time to work. Time to do what we came here for.
What was your mom's name?
Her name was Rachel Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you say the Dead Man Walk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that like the slow dirt?
Yeah, that's the one step at a time. I paraded with a few clubs. I paraded with the Money Wasters, the Do-Man Gang, Sudan, Sidewalk Steppers, where I'm currently at, and I paraded with them before, but like I didn't came back to that. That's where I'm gonna stay. Yeah, but I gotta show love to all the clubs, like the Do-Man Gang, Money Wasters, the Sudan. Like the Sudan, they kind of taught me a lot, coming from like tradition wise and stuff like that. Like they taught me a lot. Like I love those guys forever. And,
what kind of stuff tradition wise did they?
Like the Dead Man Walk and stuff like that. That's what they focus on. Like, they focus on traditional music, and you know, it'd be upbeat. When it be upbeat, it'd be like a traditional upbeat, like something that's been around for like years and like generations. Like, don't get me wrong, they get into the funky stuff, but like they try to keep it tradition. Like, that's the more fun part though. Like, I love traditional music, but I love second line so much. Like, you know, I don't argue about which band is playing. I don't argue about what song they playing. Like, I just want to hear the music. Mm-hmm. Whatever they playing, I'm dancing.
Mm-hmm. And just for the record too, I don't know if I asked you, what was your father's name?
Oh, my father was Rodrick Amos, but everybody called him Scubble.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I actually got the name Scubble from my dad. But they used to call me Lil Scubble when I was small, but I'm not Lil no more.
So, do you know where it came from? Why did you get the name Scubble?
I think my grandma actually gave him the name. My grandma and my grandfather, Shelba, and I didn't get a chance to ask her that.
Where it came from? But that's what everybody knew.
Like, I inherited it from him, and like by me losing him at a young age, like I took so much pride in it, like, you know. And then growing up, like, all I got was like, man, you look just like people that like been knowing him, just always saying, man, you a split image of your father. Like, I'm telling you, man, like people that ain't seen him for years, they see me now, and like some of them see me and just be like, man, I thought I saw a dead man, stuff like that. And then some people don't even know me and just stop and ask me, what's your name? They go to ask me stuff like that. And then, like, this one lady, she heard somebody call me Scubble. She said, Scubble? She looked, she said, who you kin to? I said, who you who you trying to know? Like, who you trying to know? She was like, cause I heard that name Skull, but I got a partner named Skull, but he got killed a long time ago. I said, yeah, that's my daddy. She almost fainted. Like, she just almost passed out.
Yeah. Was he a dancer too?
Nah, he was a bit more something else. He was a wild card.
You said he was a bass drummer.
Yeah, he did play the bass drummer, but like he was one of those type, I'm gonna get what I want by any means.
And you have your own family now.
Yeah, I do. I got my own family. I got but my son just turned 7 now. I was about to say 6-year-old. He just turned 7 March 5th. Yes, his birthday a week before mine. We both Pisces. So we kind of like, we be doing all that thing. And my daughter was just like she is like the softest spot in my heart. Our daughter break any man down. I don't care who you is.
How old is she?
She's 2 now. She be 3 Christmas Eve.
And are you getting them into second line?
My son, he's already into my daughter. She's coming along. We actually did this commercial not too long ago. Me, Terry Lynn, and a few other guys. Like they saw the commercial, and like I had a scene on the roof.
Yes, I saw this. It's with Terry Lynn Dorsey, right? It's for water.
Yeah, for electrolyte, like
electrolyte water. Yeah.
They saw the commercial, then they saw me on the roof. They lost their mind. They called my phone. They lost their mind. That's like their mom was calling and said, "Oh yeah, we saw the commercial," and they just took over. Yeah, we saw you on the roof and you was out. She like, well, y'all be quiet. And they were just constantly going. It was like, it was funny, but it made me feel so good that my kids were so excited to see, me doing something positive on TV. Like I ain't no handcuffs or nothing like that. Being harassed by the police, like I'm doing a commercial. Like it ain't their first time. Like they see me. Like every time they see me, like it's always something good. So to be able to be a role model for my kids, I have my son wanting to be like me and not like no other basketball player or no other. Like that's a hell of a feeling.
Right. Yeah, I bet. And since you brought up getting on the roofs, okay, I have to ask you about this. This is something that you do all the time, right?
I do.
Just about every parade.
A lot of people think I walk around with a ladder, but I'm like, how?
You've got some like pit crew on the side ready with the ladder.
Yeah.
No, you just scale up the sides of buildings, whatever. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I always.
Y'all can come in and just have a seat if you want. We're doing this. It'll be about maybe 20 more minutes just doing this interview. Yeah.
So it's always I'm always safety first with it. So before I get up there, the first thing I do is I observe the whole thing. Like this will be a block ahead. Like I see a roof and know I want to get there, and I'm already checking how can I get up there, but don't hurt myself before I get there. So by the time y'all get down there, I'm already down to 10 feet in the air already. But yeah.
And I think I told you this last time we talked a few years ago. I asked if there's like a name for this, for doing this, right? Like the dead man walk, like that's type of thing.
Or if I getting on the roof? Nah. I just go with it. Just like I'm not afraid of heights, and I like to strive to the high extent. So.
Yeah.
And then I like to get the people a little show. Like every now and then I just want do something different every once in a while. Like since I like at first it was just a fun thing for me to get on the roof and like, all right, they look at me on the side, I might get up here, they'll be like, how you get up there so fast? But now when I'm in the second line, like that's what they look for. Like I done started my own trend. Like I got the kids doing it now, but I tell them, don't watch yourself. Please don't do that at home, like, cause I don't want to take the blame for it. But when I see them up there and I see them enjoying themselves, having fun, like it's a feeling. Like all the kids at the second line love me. All the kids at the second line love me, and they're like.
I mean, you're a role model to more than your own kids.
Yeah.
All the kids out
like
there.
that actually makes you feel like you actually have a purpose here. Like you here for something.
Yeah. So, how does it feel when you're dancing? When you hear the music? When you're just really in it? How does it feel?
I could be. Like it's so many times, like it's so different feelings in the one, but like I could be in, like right now, like we having this interview, we could be in mid-stride and the band could come, I'm about to jump up, my mic will fall off, wait, hold on, we're not finished. But like if I can hear it before I get to the band, then we can finish. But if I get to the band, I done lost focus of everything. Like, we've been, like, on Sundays, we've been talking about something, the band will start, I start dancing, it's over, we get to the next stop, they be asking, yeah, now what you was saying? I'll be like, what? I'll be like, what? I don't know, it got to come back to me. They just played Money Work. I have no idea what I was talking about.
And do you have any favorite songs or favorite bands right now? You said you don't care what the band is. Do you have favorites?
Yeah, I really don't care which band it is, because don't get me wrong, like I like a lot of the bands. Like, they got a lot of really decent bands out here, but you know,
is there a song that when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's my song?
Oh yeah, it's actually Money Work.
Money Work?
Money Work, yeah, that's actually me and my little brother's song. Yeah, but like I said, I like a lot of bands, but like, you know, and I have a lot of love for the True Brass band, because they actually sound good. You know, they stay young, they still up and coming. But my favorite band will forever be TBC.
TBC, yeah.
My favorite band will be TBC. That's my friends outside of the band world, which is the truth is also. But like, you know, like I've been rocking with these two since on the corner of Bourbon and Canal. Like, just my pops is just, when I say my pops, I'm talking about, it's actually my parent. He took care of me like my whole life. Like my father died when I was murdered at 3. He took me right then and there. Like, this my son, I got him. Focus on your daughter. Whatever he need, I got that. Came guide me every weekend, every summer. Like, till this day, his son called me brother. I call him brother. We introduce ourselves as that. Like, you know, I introduce people as, you know, this my pops and stuff like that. Like, and I don't get into detail. Some people that growed up with me and some of the adults, they already know. So, you know, like, that's why sometimes they'll see me, they'll be like, man, where your dad at? Where your dad at? And but some people who know my pops is deceased will be like, what they talking about? And then I have to explain to them what's the deal is. But yeah, I've been with me and him both. We've been rocking with TBC a long time. Been rocking with TBC a long time. That's my dudes. That's my dudes. A lot of people have they, you know, they salty taste about them, whatever. But that's the same people that come see them every Wednesday. Like, it kills me. Like, the same people that have so much to say about a band come see the same band. Like, they're doing something right.
They're voting with their feet.
Yeah, they actually voting with their feet. You talk, you say this here, you say that there, but each and every Wednesday you showing up here. That's saying something.
That's right. Because yeah, for a while now, TBC's had that Wednesday night gig going.
I don't see nobody else with a day that's been going on for years. Like TBC, they almost 8 years now.
Right, and they were at Celebration Hall for a long time, until very recently.
Yeah, they were at Celebration Hall for a very long time due to the fire and stuff and all that stuff. That kind of like shut it all down. So we was at Hollywood and stuff like that. But then it came to agreement with the Autograph. So each and every Wednesday at the Autograph.
Yeah,
like
it's 2 weeks now at the Autograph, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna stay. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's, I think everybody will love it. They'll love it. They'll love the new spot.
Yeah.
I mean, we always gonna be Team Celebration. I mean, it's the same thing, but you know, it's right next to us. So I mean, it's just a few more steps.
Right.
It's just a few more steps.
You've kind of already answered this, but I'll ask it just a little bit different way. What role does second lining have in your life?
Oh, second line actually have a major role in my life. Like I said, it gets me through whatever sad day I have, whatever bad day I have. Anything that's, you know, that's feel like it's tearing me apart or it's breaking me down, you know, 30 minutes of a 30-minute set change all that. Like I'm not, like, forget it all. Whatever happened. Whatever it is. Whatever I can't do, I can't do. But this band about to play, I'm about to enjoy this right here. This how I get through. This how I get through in life. This how I overcome all obstacles. This how, you know, that's the second line is how I defeat the devil, and it keeps me out the way. Like, they can't. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I mean, it's actually taking me places, like, you know, and I didn't see myself, you know, Jazz Fest and all that extra stuff. When I started second line, I started second line because I love the second line. And like my love for it and my passion for it, I guess, started showing and me showing up here dancing, and me showing up here there dancing, like other people just started to see what I felt in my heart, and that just was that. But like, yeah, I'm gonna second line till I can't walk.
Well, does anything ever keep you from either a set on Wednesday night with TBC or a Sunday second line?
Oh yeah, I either see if it's not my kids, then it's work.
Right.
But majority of the times I tend to have Wednesdays off, like Wednesday nights off. But sometimes if I gotta work overnight, then yeah, I plug in my little headphones. I'm there in spirit.
You put in TBC.
TBC on SoundCloud. TBC on SoundCloud.
I love it. And where do you work?
I work at a restaurant in Metairie, then I work at a plant off of Esplanade.
Okay. And what is the plant?
It's at TCI Packaging, right there in Esplanade.
Yeah. I love that. You're still there in spirit with your headphones
I'm in there in spirit. I'm here in the band. I got the TBC right here. I know they're playing on Wednesday. Right now they playing here at my job. It's gonna
Do you work in the kitchen at the restaurant?
Yeah, in the restaurant I work in the kitchen. When I'm in the kitchen, I can do the headphones. When I'm working cause I work in the kitchen and I work on the floor.
Okay.
Cause like they be having me multitasking due to the fact that I don't know. I guess just me having a lot of energy. They use it everywhere.
Yeah.
They see me at the second line and I'll be out there like, you feel like busting? I don't care. And all the waiters be wanting me to bust every day, but I can't. I can't do it every day. Like I work in the kitchen, but every chance I get, they putting me on the floor. Just because I'm not waiting, and I constantly moving back and forth. Like I can go 12 hours with no problem.
Right.
It's like so. I guess my energy just it helps me in so many ways. Like it takes a very lot for me to get fatigued, and then when I feel myself getting fatigued, like I push myself, like I'm gonna push it to the limit. Like anytime I feel myself getting a little fatigued, I'll be like, nah, you ain't tired, come on.
Mind over matter.
Yeah. Sometimes I might go the whole second line without a bottle of water.
What, just because you don't think about it?
Yeah, I'm not thinking about it. The music constantly playing, when I say I'm gonna give me a water at the next stop, have a short conversation. The band start up, I'm not looking for no water. And once the band start, I'm not looking for no water, no cooler, no nothing. Sometimes, majority of the times when I'm at the second line and I got a water, it's easy because all the people that sell the water, like they know me, they see what I'm doing out there, and like, you know, they make it. Of course, that's how they make their money, but you know, you gotta give something to make something. So every chance when they see me, it's like, hey man, take a water. You look like you need it and stuff like that. So majority of the times I wouldn't even have to chase them now. They already know I'm trying to stay to the band, or a friend might bring me something. But yeah, I know you gotta hydrate yourself like the water city. Like we got like electrolyte. Like y'all should try it too. It's actually wonderful.
The electrolyte water.
Yeah,
especially since you're on the commercial.
Yeah, it's good.
Did they give you any free water for doing the commercial?
Yeah, we got a nice supply of water and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was it a paying gig?
Yeah.
It was. Oh, that's good. So yeah, you're making a little bit of money.
It's actually. My legs is actually high. Like I didn't see it. I didn't plan for it, but if I can make a living out of what I love doing down here, that's something I could do forever.
Yeah. Well, right now, okay, so you're about to teach this class.
Yeah,
right?
actually.
These like French people who are visiting New Orleans.
Yeah, they leave tomorrow, so we've been conversating. We've been trying to do the class for almost a week or something now. Just that the time wasn't out, but yeah, we about to. It's crazy too, cause once I found out it was French, I was like, damn, we making it over there.
And they're paying you, right? It's a paying.
Yeah.
Gig. Yeah, that's great. What the talk of money also reminded me of, like the financial obligations of belonging to a social pleasure club. Right?
Yeah.
They're pretty, depending on the club, they're different. I know.
Yeah. A lot of clubs are different when it comes to parading, like, cause every club have a certain budget that they want to follow. Like every club have a set budget that they want to follow. Some clubs, you know, don't mind spending a little more money. Some clubs don't mind spending that much, spending a lot of money. But it's not really about the money that you spend. It's just, you know, you paying your dues. You know, whatever y'all decide y'all want to come. That's club wise. You can't worry about what the rest of the people gonna see. So what if they spent $1,000 and they spent $2,000? Oh well, y'all paid y'all money. Y'all paid y'all money. Y'all paid y'all money to parade. Come out there and parade. Don't worry about people gonna have something to say about you regardless. And that's what's so crazy about the second line right now. Cause everybody is so judgmental. It never was about judgment. It was about paying for, paying to do something that you want to do. So however somebody else feel about you, it shouldn't even much matter. With the Sidewalk Steppers, we they known for spending like a pretty penny. But it's cause like they wanna look the best. They wanna feel like they wanna feel like they look good. Like they wanna meet high expectations. Like they don't wanna be compared to no one. Like they want they won't be on this. They won't be in land by themselves. Like they're not trying to compete with nobody. Like we support all social pleasure clubs. We support the events. Like we buy tickets and all that. So when we come to, like everybody got one Sunday. You got one Sunday to show out. So that's all our mindset, to show up and show out. That's why we got our own motto. They do what we want. I mean, we do what we want. They do what they can. But a lot of them don't like that. But it shows. We don't care though, cause it's not about them. Long as we all acquainted in the club, and we don't have no problem in the club, we don't worry about what nobody else talking about.
Right. I mean, there is a competition between clubs, right? Where
don't get me wrong. It's fun when it's friendly competition. We gonna smash y'all. We gonna shut it down. Like that's the fun part. Like that's always been there. But like when people go to feel insulted when they feel like this club and did this or did such and such, like come on, man, like grow up. Like y'all too old for that. Like I'm still young and I don't do all that. Like that's not. Come on, man, grow up. Yeah. Grow up.
Look, hearing you talk about that reminds me of, the history of social aid and pleasure clubs, that the social aid part is people would pay their dues so that when you got sick or somebody passed and had a funeral, you could pull from that, and have money to help each other. Yeah, the
clubs, they do all that. Like, I know our club just does it. I can't speak on all clubs. Like, our club like that, we do, majority of them do it like that. But, some of them, I wouldn't say everybody do like that. But when you, stuff like that, and sometimes when you in financial needs, like the club helps like that. Like we come to meeting, like we talk about everything at meeting, but it don't lead to meeting. That's why people that's not parading that shit or that's not, in the club, like when we in meeting, it's on the club, it's club members only. Like stuff that's for the club, it's not for everyone else. That's why when people be asking like what the colors is and what stuff like that, we can't reveal that, until like. A week or two before the second line, we can tell the colors, but as for what we wearing and stuff like that, that's not for like. Right. We can't do that. And people be like, man, y'all know what y'all want with stealing. No, we can't do that.
Yeah, that's kind of about secrecy.
It's supposed to be a surprise. Like, everybody want to know how you look, and everybody not supposed to know how you look before you get out of there.
Right.
And that's why we so strict on that.
And I know a lot of clubs will do sort of like give back to the community.
Yeah, like we did like when they had victims for the tornado and stuff like that, we was giving away food and stuff like that. It wasn't just us; it was a few other clubs. But like we played a big role in it. Mm-hmm. But we don't wait for tragedies to happen for us to give functions and stuff like that. Like we'll do it just to give back to the community or just to give a little. We having a fundraiser. We didn't ask for nothing. We just looking for donations. But we got the spacewalking and stuff for kids and stuff like that. Like we reach out to the whole city. It's not just our neighborhood stuff like that.
Right. And so that's kind of I know that your club and a lot of clubs in particular still sort of do that social aid part in that way. And then what about the pleasure part? Like it's a social aid and pleasure club, right?
Oh, the pleasure.
Talk to me about the pleasure part of it.
The pleasure part, like, is all the part once everything is paid for, then you get to see some of your money. Well, we doing this such and such, and then you go to wonder what. Dang, how much it is? Oh, let's pay for it. You pay for that in your budget. That's when you go to being like, oh yeah, we doing this, then we doing that, and we got this, then we next thing we got this club luncheon, and we got the club ball, then we got the club dance and stuff like that. Then of course the cherry on top is the day when we come out the door.
So the parade is sort of like the culminating event to all these like social events.
The parade is kind of like bases loaded. Yeah, I'm at the home plate, hitting the home run. That's the grand slam.
I love that comparison.
That's.
Did you come up with that?
I just thought of it.
It's great. It's so good.
I just thought of it.
So talk to me about like the dancing and like experiencing pleasure with the music and just, or maybe another word is better, like that word pleasure's been around a long time,
right.
But maybe today we would say something like enjoyment or fun or something else.
Oh man, the music. Like this artist, Missy Elliott. She made a comment in her song, and I thought it was so true. And she was like, "Music make you lose control."
Who said that?
Missy Elliott. She said that in one of her songs, "Music make you lose control." I was like, it definitely does. But yeah, that's what it do when the music come and it's time to dance. Oh yeah, you definitely gonna lose control. Your adrenaline is pumping. Your heart feel like it's beating at 2,000 beats per second. You like, if I don't get out this door right now, I'm just gonna lose my mind.
You don't look like you lost control of your body though when you dance.
No. I actually try to stay on beat because it looks better like that, and it shows, it separates the, I wouldn't say the bad ones from the good ones. I just say it just separates, you from certain class. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody that know how to second line pretty decent, but then you got some that just, that just blow your mind away. Some you just might look at me like, don't get me wrong, this person can dance, but I just feel like that person can really dance and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. And that, it seems like, for somebody, like you said, when people see you, you can really dance. Yeah, you're on beat and you have a lot of skill, but it's also so clear that your heart and soul is in it.
Yeah, that's where it's coming from. Like, it's gonna, like, the way people dance, it's gonna show. Like, some people come out there and do it and just feel like, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that, which, like, me, I was like born into the world, and like the second line and all the stuff. It kind of like it started in the Tremere area, so of course this neighborhood gonna be on it. That's why you allowed to have a second line band in the Tremere area any day, like from Sunday to Saturday. A band could be playing anywhere in the neighborhood, anywhere, and they'd be like, "What that is? That's a band?" And we could be on Tremere Street, and we could hear a band on Robinson. The whole house, we checking out. We trying to go catch it where it is for 30 minutes. We want them 30 minutes. Because people don't feel like 30 minutes is actually a long time depending on what you're doing. Like, it's gonna go fast because the band playing if you're dancing, but you try standing in the push-up position for 30 minutes, you'll see how really long that is. That's a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, the way you dance, it's a lot of energy.
I tend to, what's the word I'm looking for? This lady, she told me something. She like, I had her out of breath because of the way I was dancing and how long I was dancing and stuff like that. People want to know how can I go for hours. I mean, like, I dance every Sunday, every Wednesday. That's cardio up. How you can't get fat? If I'm burning that many calories a week, there's no possible way I'm gonna get fat. No possible way.
Yeah. So, you've already kind of answered this question, but I'll go ahead and ask it. Why do you do it? You're so dedicated. You like sacrifice a lot of money to be in a club, a lot of time, that you could be whatever, doing other things, to second line. Why do you do it? Why is it so meaningful to you?
I want to say, you got basketball players that make all this kind of money. Then you got some that, you got superstar basketball players. Then you got football players that make this kind of money. Then you got superstar football players. And when you look at the superstars, you look at them like, okay, they at where they at because that's what they was put here for on this earth. So me, when it comes to the second line, I feel like that's what I was put here for. Like, I ain't make it playing basketball because that wasn't my thing. That wasn't my thing in life. I was set here to do this. Like, this is why I'm here, because I'm like, I I didn't try to get into nothing. Like, it's just everything came to me. Everything came to me. So once I saw that, I'm like, man, I could do this every day. Every day, I could second line every day. Every day. If I could second line every day and make the money that I'm making when I'm working, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But until it get like that, I'm gonna have to work. It's getting there. It's getting there though. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there.
The commercial.
The classes every now and then people be booking me for weddings and stuff like that. Cause like I do all that.
Yeah.
Weddings and stuff like that. Like I'm going out the city now.
Really?
Yeah, I went to Buckaloo, I did Texas and Georgia.
And when you go, do you go with the band?
Yeah, they booked the band, like, and then they booked the Grand Marshal. When they called me about it, they asked me about it. Then I asked, do they have a band or do they have a radio or stuff like that? Then they tell me, well, we got something. So we was trying to get the band, but we had no band number. Then I call around and
I see. Oh, so they called you first, and you got the band together.
Yeah, because the lady, she had a ball, and they wanted me to come to the ball, and I asked them, did they have a band? They was trying to get one. When the lady out there told her that contacting me, I probably get a band for her. I was like, yeah, I called. I got all the band numbers.
Yeah, right.
All the band numbers. Come Sunday, I want to know who playing and did y'all start yet? So I keep all the band members' numbers from every band.
Right, yeah. I think that's everything I wanted to ask you about. Was there anything you wanted to add for the record that I didn't ask about? Or we didn't talk about?
I'm still looking at that. None that I know of. Each and every Wednesday at the autocraft.
Yeah, people might be listening to this in like 30 years, 50 years, who knows?
They're gonna be like, he loved it at autocraft.
Maybe even at that point they'll be like, oh, that's that guy I saw on, whatever, some movie or something.
Yeah, and it's getting close to Jazz Fest.
Yeah, it is getting close to Jazz Fest. And you dance at Jazz Fest every year now, huh?
Yeah. That was a big accomplishment for me.
Yeah. When did that start?
Man, that started at a second line. I met Quentin Davis at a second line. Like, this crazy because I didn't know who he was. I'm just at a second line and I got a t-shirt on, some shorts, and some tennis shoes. I'm just in my mood, and I just see this guy just kept looking at me. And he looked at me, then he walked up to me. And he handed me a card. Then he started talking about Jazz Fest coming up. I want you to contact me. I want to see about getting you on stage with one of the bands. I'm like, sure, I'm with that. But by me being at the second line and me not knowing who the man was, I'm like, it sounds good, but people just be talking. But they had a lady sitting there watching him do all that and watching me. And then she when he walked off, she saw my body language was like, I'll see what's up, but I ain't really put full interest in it. So she walked up to me, she stopped me, she said, baby, you know who that is? I looked at her and I told her honestly, I said, honest and truly, I don't. She said, that's Quentin Davis. You need to talk to that man. Like, that's somebody you might want to do some business with. He helped a lot of people with these social and pleasure clubs and stuff like that. I was like, yeah. Then she said, yeah, that's the man who over Jazz Fest and stuff like that. I said, yeah, he just was telling me about putting me on stage. He like, baby, you need to call that man. So a week go by, I call him, tell him I was. Then he go to telling me, before you know it, I'm coming out to the fairground signing the contract. Now I'm on stage with TBC at Jazz Fest, New Breeze, Hot Egg, Rebird, the Stooges.
You come out and dance when all those bands play?
Yeah, the past few years I was at Jazz Fest every day.
Wow.
I mean, it's fun. I ain't lying. It's fun. Like a lot of people want to be more focused on the money. I mean, of course you want to get paid for your work, but like I'm doing something that I love. Like second line is something I love. Like I'm going second line regardless. So of course, if I'm gonna get paid for it, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm like, what? Do something I love to get paid. I think that's
Dream.
I think that's something everybody want to do
That's right.
in life.
That's the dream. All right, Scott. Well, I think that's a great place to end. I'm glad you added that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.